the way, Albie.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the store today. I got to get some things, gallons of milk. Our kids just drink so much milk, and am I angry at them for it? A little bit. I can't keep up, so I have to go to get 2 more gallons of milk, and I have to get paper towels because the kids don't care. They'll wipe their hands on themselves or things, but because I want them to start acting like civilized humans, so I get paper towels, milk. And we got tzatziki because of all the stuff we're grilling now, so in case we want to make it interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of other things. I get all this stuff, and I put it in the back of the, what's the car called? The Utah?
Yukon?
The Yukon, not Connecticut.
Like Yukon Cornelius.
You're right. And so it's my brother's car, but he lives in Boston, so he doesn't need it a lot, so we use that one, and we have another one. So it's kind of stuffed back there, and I hit the automatic close thing for the trunk,
Mm-hmm.
and it resists because it's stuffed, and it tries to open back up. And I say, no, believe me, I have determined that it is going
it
to.
fits.
We're closing. It fits good enough for you, and just do it. So I push the thing down and close it myself. So then, this is a first for me. So then I'm driving out of there. Today was a big day. Today's a big day. I'm driving out of there. This is at the, famously on Facebook, by the way, this is this plaza where the Market Basket is, and technically is that Groveland over the bridge?
It's still
Or be
Groveland,
Haverhill.
I believe.
Okay.
Wait, no, it's Haverhill. It's Haverhill. It's not
Okay, but
Groveland.
this was in the Groveland thing, whatever. Technically, there's been punks driving their bikes through the dollar store there. Like in the dollar store, and then giving the manager stuff for it. And I actually saw the punks in action. It was really great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was going to run them over. So anyway, I drive out of the place, and take a right on whatever Lincoln Street I think that is,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear some things shift around. I'm like, okay, I took the turn too fast, and milk bottles, whatever, have like moved around the car. So as I'm going over the bridge, I got these dudes in a big white pickup behind me accelerating, like right up to me and beeping. So, like, at first I'm thinking, okay, am I getting gay bashed? I don't think so. I don't think that there's anybody would identify.
Jimmy Canton wants to know if you can start wearing a body cam every time you leave the house.
Seriously, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. But, like this today, what I was wearing was like horrifically.
I think that would add to what Tim and Canton is looking to get out of it.
Well, yeah, you would love it. It is a very form-fitting shirt that I was wearing today. It shows every curve, side bellies, primary roll, breasts. It was like it was not a good sight. I can't imagine how my kids are I'm sure I've just broken them emotionally. So I have a second. I'm like they don't have any reason to be mad at me, like that guy 2 years ago, that psycho 3 years ago, like Lionel, and I don't think I'm getting gay bashed because these guys are obviously big Trump voters. There's a big white pickup and dudes in the pickup. Like, and nope, I'm not important enough to waste the time to like be lynched.
Mick Chuck says maybe it was ice.
Wouldn't that be interesting if I got swept up? That could only be upside for me. I've got nothing else. I mean, I am
You'd
nothing.
lose weight.
Yeah, I
In
probably.
Seacott, you'd probably. Please.
So anyway, then I noticed that the back trunk door is flapping up and down. So I'm like, oh no, the trunk is open. They're telling me the trunk is open. So the dudes drive next to me. I kind of pull over to the right. I'm already so submissive in this. It's so pathetic how I'm such a submissive thing that I pull over, and we're on the bridge.
Jim and Kitten says you're the first guy who's begging to be gay bashed. Disappointment in your voice.
It's not true. It's not true. But I was like, there's only so many reasons why somebody would approach guys in a pickup truck.
Did they say this is MAGA country? When they hung a noose around your neck?
Not to make a joke out of actual lynchings, but you'd have to go tree shopping now to hang me. It's a big, tough winter. It would be a bit of a commute before we found something that's suitable enough that could actually withstand my weight. But so anyway, the dudes pull, and I know now what it's going to be. So I'm like, okay, I'll just let them. And the dudes pull alongside of me and say, "Hey, yeah, your trunk is open. You lost some stuff back there." And I said, "I appreciate it. Thank you very much." And I go back, and of course, the dudes, the Trump voters, these are absolute Trump voters. Both of them look like Theo Vaughn. They had put the backpack, which is good. The backpack,
Like our baby backpack?
No, the backpack, our drinking backpack that we take to sporting events and playgrounds. That's full of disguises for the beer cans. And
Okay.
yes, they had put it against the side of the road, and I think I've lost a few things, like just never made it. We're just get chucked out into.
Hopefully, like nothing of your brother's that was important to him.
No. Although
Okay.
that backpack was bequeathed to us from my brother. So there you go. That's my interesting thing of the day, because I've never quite had that. And you have that feeling, for a couple of seconds, like, what's happening? Is it on? What's on? Like, I don't. Why is he mad at me? Is like, why are they very aggressive? We're very aggressive at me, and you never know. But it's good to be ready. You should.
Kitten says the found dented soup can has come full circle.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Oh, yeah, there was a time.
So do we have milk for our kid for tomorrow morning?
We have 2
or-
gallons of milk.
Okay.
The milk was put in a different part of the car because
Okay.
I overloaded the back part of the car. But thank you to those dudes, those Haverhill boys, who were who did the nice thing. I appreciate that. Everybody's going to do that for you, Alice. Meanwhile, by the way, I called, and Tim and Canton to me when I believe Ted about this 2 years ago. I believe I called for the bombing of Tehran, and it has absolutely happened today. Have you heard this?
No.
This is the IRIB, which is the propaganda, huge military. It's Iran's CNN
Okay.
place, and there's the lead anchor, of course, is in a hijab and in a burqa and all the things that you have to have in Iran now. And today, during her broadcast, Alice, they were visited by some Israelis. The voice of the invader, homeland, the voice of the invader, the voice of truth and justice. What you observed. Now, she was not killed in this blast, but the building was destroyed. Can I just say something? As a guy in media, can I say something? And somehow the lights and cameras stayed on, at least for a little bit. If I'm not a guy in media. Actually, a guy who was in media. When I was in radio, in anything, one of the running jokes is that if you're in programming or you're on the air, if you're a producer or a talker, and the fire alarm goes on, that you don't leave. You stay there and burn alive. Essentially, that is it. Because you're not it's probably not a real fire. You probably whatever.
And if it is, dude, the content.
Right. And if it is great content. That's right. But you need people in an emergency situation. Let's say something did happen, if there was some kind of fire or explosion, or let's say it got bombed. Everybody, the idea is to keep the product going and to everybody do your jobs. In an emergency, do your jobs. We've all done the fire escape stuff. We've all done this. We all do this. It is entirely unhelpful to be running around screaming Allahu Akbar. That is not a broadcasting term that does any good at all. Just keep your stuff together, okay? God. And I know that I don't want to denigrate the Prophet Muhammad or my Muslim friends. As far as I can see in my own, just as a casual observer since, let's say, somewhere around the early fall of 2001, nothing good happens around that word. Very little good happens around the word. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm missing it. I'm sure there's all sorts of great soccer games where, like Kazakhstan came from behind and we do Allahu Akbar. But it's not helpful. As a former manager in a high-level AM talk station, I don't need anybody saying Allahu Akbar. I also don't need the kid who was running the Rush Limbaugh show, one of the producers, and how would he do is he'd run the show. The show gets fed in, right? Mm-hmm. But between commercials, you have to pot it up. So if Rush Limbaugh plays, and then ding sounder, that Rush sounder, and then two minutes of Rush spots play, and then 3 minutes of your own spots play. So you wait for the 2 minutes of Rush spots to play. Mm-hmm. You know what the out cue is, whatever it is, preparation H, ass medication for you. And once you happens, then you press the button, and then it goes through your local spots. Mm-hmm. The 3 giant glass and whatever 2 other spots. After the 3rd giant glass spot, it should be perfectly timed that the dun 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 dun. The Rush music should start rising, and you can hear it in cue. This producer zoned out and just was doing his own thing, like Farmville or whatever, which is the Howie's producer used to play all the time. Was like totally zoned out, and so there was dead air for like 3 straight minutes. And we went into the control room and said, "Dude, there's dead air right now." And he looked up from his computer and said, "For real?" Allah Akbar is just as useful as for real. Yes, for real. Did you not notice it? Does it not set any flag off in your mind that there's no noise coming out of all these noise equipments here?
Nope. So Trish in the chat says that she thinks the audio sounds fake.
It does sound fake, but it's all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, Miles Chong has it, so it's got to be real. I choose to believe it's real.
Okay, it wouldn't be the first time. Tim and Ken wants to know if this is your way of telling me that you took a job at Voice of Persia in downtown Tehran.
I would in a second. I am available for Voice of Persia.
The Mullah of Manchester by the Sea.
I have, once again, like Joe Shaka said, I'm too easy. I will take any job at all for anybody, including for the Chinese, including for ISIS, KKK, Al Qaeda, whatever. I am available for whatever it is. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But, yeah, what is that? Is that it? Okay, what was I going to get to after that? I feel like I was about to say something.
I don't know. But, okay. Can we talk about your show preparation for the Shattuck show today?
Sure.
Because this evening, really, like at like 5:30, I got out and I said to you something like, "I'm just glad they like caught the guy." And you were like, "The Minnesota shooter? Really? They caught him?"
Yeah, I missed it.
And I was like, "Yeah, at like midnight last night." Like everyone was all talking about it this morning. You were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Did you do your whole show thinking he hadn't been caught?" You were like, "The manhunt is live."
The whole show didn't stand up in real time. Each word I said was expired immediately as it left my mouth. Yeah, that's correct. Although I barely spent any time on that, but that's true. We have a couple of burn barrel issues to discuss with Patreon from the burn barrel email that we got, right?
Yes.
Do you want to do it now?
Sure. Are you trying to distract attention from your...
No. I didn't know about that the guy got caught. I didn't know. I missed it. Sometimes I miss stuff. That's not really where I was, though.
Okay, well, at least you weren't like covering that.
No. So once I knew what generally the theme was going to be, I kind of tried to excavate content that would work well for that. And so I probably was not looking at the main feed.
Well,
I don't like this guy, and I find him creepy. A mean jerk, and I don't think he should have shot those people. There's a take, huh?
Wow, hot.
He's an asshole.
They call him Hot Take Top.
He is, with his stupid fake latex face and his stupid fake police car. And Like,
the guy
going into a house and shooting a mom and dad. Like, what an a-hole. God.
I talked to you. And their dog. Their dog, by the way.
I
shot
saw
them
who
and their
was I
dog.
listening to today who was like, Kuhner said that, idiot. Oh, God. I don't, I will take any job at all, but, idiot. They even shot the family dog. How cruel do you have to be? It's like, yeah, he shot 2 people in the head, idiot. I assume the dog was not pleased with the
shooting happening?
unfolding events. Shut the dog.
So, I'm glad they caught him. I'm glad you found out later today that they caught him.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
I haven't looked for a job from WRKO.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kuhner steps down or gets hit by a bus tomorrow,
God forbid.
then the job is then open on WR. It's the morning show on WRKO. And they want me to try out. F you. You don't give it to this moron for freaking 13 years. Michael Savage's fluffer, and then have me, we got to see if you can be as good as him. It is a coup. The J6 people were put in jail without any riots at all. It was an insurrection by the rioters.
His fans love him.
I know they do.
Because they call in and he tells them they're the most brilliant people to ever.
Yeah. You said it better than I could. Can't believe it. It's funny because I listen to only podcasts that help me for my show, that help me build for my show. And this is the only stuff where I lose data and information. My future colleague and friend.
So we agree, though, that the Minnesota shooter guy is an a-hole.
I don't like him.
Which is more than the left can bring themselves to say about, like, Luigi Mangione.
Correct.
So, I mean, I think we're all agreed. I have not seen or heard anyone on the right praising this guy in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Of course not. If anything, they're, like, hoping he's a Democrat because they don't friggin' like him.
Well, right. Yeah. Yeah, you want to make sure.
Nobody on the right is going like, yeah, I love this guy. Awesome. Like, no, that's not a thing.
Yeah, and he's just a piece of crap and a creep. I hate him.
No, he's literally, this is what he is. And he probably has more or less right-wing ideology, kind of, for a freak, but...
And no kings.
Yeah, but was he going to go... people are saying he was going to go try to blend into a protest or something. I mean, who knows what his deal is. He might
like in his squad car?
Who knows? I don't know. In a rubber mask.
God,
I don't know.
Can I say something else about this?
The guy, though, can we say... This was a guy who was a 7-Eleven manager before he started his own NGO preaching against homosexuality in the Congo.
Right.
I mean, like, who knows? He could have been mad about USAID money. That's possible. But it seems to me that it's a pretty straightforward case of a guy who's a narcissist and thinks he's too good to be a 7-Eleven manager, thinks he's too good to be picking up dead bodies for a funeral home, which is what he was currently doing.
He's a sociopathic loser.
That
reminds me of a lot of people I know.
He's a loser.
Yeah.
And he's pronouncing himself CEOs of important NGOs and writing books and giving speeches. And when he went to Africa and he got to give,
imagine being his coworker at 7-Eleven when they make like another person work there too. It's like, yeah, I do this, but mostly I do really important stuff, like kind of like covert stuff.
I'm like this important guy. And like,
by the way, do you
mostly
realize
he's not a CIA asset. Mostly he's a loser who wanted to believe he was important.
Yeah, and
do you
that's
know
why...
he texted his family members, "Dad's going to war," before he went and killed people?
A-hole.
He's such a pathetic piece of bleep. And we talked yesterday about the possibility he might have killed himself because people were saying they had heard a gunshot. He got picked up on somebody's trail cam in the woods in the middle of the night. They zeroed in on him. They grabbed him and arrested him. And he did like a court appearance early this morning, I think, or today at some point. And his bail was set at $5 million, which seems like, why should he even get bail? He's such a piece of crap. Like, what? Like,
can I implore law enforcement here something? And it's something that that they tried to do with the Sarnaev guy in Watertown. when we have the dirtbag like this and you're out in the field and you see him there walking around, can you just shoot him in the head, please? Why are we dealing with Sarniev in jail giving the camera the finger? Could you guys, I know that they tried enough. They fired about 18 billion rounds in Watertown. But you know what? Maybe even if he walks out of the boat, just throw him one in the head.
Tim McCann is bringing breaking news into the chat, and it is on Twitter. Trump has ordered the National Security Council to be prepared in the Situation Room.
Oh, yeah, he tweeted Truth today told everybody to leave Tehran.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to do, like, boots on the ground with Iran or anything, but Trump doesn't mind some, like, targeted fireworks, generally speaking. Remember Soleimani? And then he's tweeting out American flags like an a-hole.
What do we call this shooter, this a-hole, Minneapolis shooter? What do people call him? Vance
Boelter?
I don't want to call him that. What do I call him? I'm doing this show description.
People call him the No Kings Killer. Or...
Oh, no, that's a different one. That's the one in Utah, isn't it? The No Kings Killer? Because there was a shooting in Utah too.
Oh, I missed the Utah thing.
Well. So high and mighty were we. My.
Okay. Are we sure? Does Utah have shooters? It's all Mormons.
Are we sure your guy got apprehended?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think he's out there.
Okay. Well, go with that then.
Yeah. So that is. Yeah. We're gonna. Well, they're gonna attack Tehran, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, Splash says he thinks Iran is about to get nuked.
I don't think they're going to get nuked. Imagine that.
That'd be exciting.
It'd be like, actually, that is a bit of an overreach, Mr. Netanyahu. I don't know about that one.
Did you see the interview with the guy's like roommate / friend? Because he was like half not living with his family while he commuted into work in Minneapolis.
Why does he have that roommate? And what is with the roommate? And do we believe a word this dude says?
Yes.
The guy who's a composite of every drinking buddy I've ever had, by the way.
So this guy has this house, and he stays at that house a few nights a week so that he doesn't have to commute as far to his work, being like a funeral home body picker-upper, because that's the job that he has to do because his CEO of an NGO and important security company guy gigs haven't worked out. So he has to go do this stuff and stay with this dude a couple nights a week. But yeah, I mean, he says that. But did you see the part where he like broke down and was crying about it? And it was like, I've known him his whole life, and like I just want him to like turn himself in so he's got a chance off of him and shit. Like it's like sad and horrible. I don't know. And the media was like all over this poor guy. I felt bad. I know I'm a normie, but I do believe this stuff, and I think that that's like a totally legitimate, totally realistic psychological profile of a person who's just a narcissist, who thinks he's more important, who's gotten big applause at his pastoral speeches in the Congo where he's jitting up the crowd with his big talks about being saved and whatever.
Right.
Nobody takes him seriously with his big theological book and his special interpretation of the Bible.
I know a loser
he's
went
Jim
over
Jones, but without any followers.
I know a guy went to another country and taught English in like. It is such a sociopathic loser thing to do. It is such a.
But I think that's like a perfect. And instead, he has to come home and cart bodies around to funeral homes and stay in this like loser house with his loser friend drinking buddy.
But can I just tell you, the loser friend guy? It's like the dude's been wearing his Papa John's uniform for the last like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like somebody from corporate. Have him not wear that shirt. We will pay for a new shirt for you that doesn't have our thing on it. By the way, you know you're married to somebody, Alice, who's been ejected from 2 7-Elevens?
I remember the one where you were trying to steal
jalapenos
nacho
and
cheese
onions.
or
No,
whatever.
jalapenos and onions. That was the one on Charles Street. And I called in a death threat to that guy. So we actually, we were drunk, and this was like in the early 90s, maybe mid 90s. And that one, I would go to the one on Charles Street in Beacon Hill because of the late night nachos. Other people went and got laid. I went and got nachos. And so the dude, this kid, it was an Asian kid, and I only say that because I just say that. because his height might have been invoked during. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but it was back then. That was me 30 years ago. I was a different guy. But anyway, the nachos thing was open, but I knew that all the stuff that the onions, which are delicious, and the jalapenos that they kept below the nacho in the cabinet below, which is kind of a fridge. And so I started going in the cabinet below, and he went off on me. And so I was angry at him, and I made fun of his height.
Stature.
Yes, he ejected me from the store. I walked up the street to the payphones by the Red Hat and called in a death threat. I had two friends with me.
Very mature.
Yeah, they were actually that guy Mike, who a lot of you have met, was there next to us at that time. That's. And then the other time was on the 7-Eleven on Exeter and Boylston. In Boston, this one was like little too recently. I mean, it's more than 20 years ago, but still, I was like 30 at that time. And that guy went at me because it was after a concierge party. I had opened the nachos started to then come in bags.
Uh-huh.
So I opened the bag, poured it in the tray. It was going to put cheese, and he said, "Why did you open the bag?" He had an accent which I will not mimic. I would say he's probably upset about his favorite news network being bombed recently. But he yelled at me for opening the bag before I put the cheese on, before I paid for the nachos. And I went back at him and said, "This is like, I'm gonna pay for the stupid nachos. Like F you, dude. You're yelling at me. I'm a customer here. Like you're on." And so he told me to get the bleep out, and so that was that. I might have even thrown my nachos. So that's two 7-Eleven nachos. Now, there was a time, Alice, when I was bonded with one of the first 7-Elevens we ever got, which was in Four Corners in Woburn. That guy and me bonded because he was also an Asian guy, actually. He was the manager, and he ran I think he owned, or he was a franchise guy. And that was the first one we had, and I was so thrilled and so pleased to have nachos available with all I can use cheese, one town away in Woburn, Mass. That I was like thrilled, and me and this guy were buddies, and he could tell that I was tipsy a lot of times when I went in. This is as a teenager. Of course, I always took Ubers there, so it didn't matter. But he was great. That Asian guy was great, and he had a sidearm, so he had a gun with him.
He wasn't scared that you were going to steal the nachos.
He was not afraid, and I showed proper reverence to his nachos. All right, that was a total waste. So what would you like to do? What should we do now?
Wait, I had an actual topic here.
Okay.
Because this weekend, as you know, the all-important No Kings weekend, was also a very important weekend for our friends on the left because it was their very first royal wedding.
It was? Oh, Soros, right.
Yeah. It was the royal wedding.
The man who just fired me.
Yes, the man who fired you, exactly. So they had, and this is from the New York Times. I'm having to scan back through all the Minnesota shooter stuff that I sent you.
He's been caught, you know.
Yeah.
That's breaking.
I did hear that, yes. But basically, the New York Times covered this wedding for Soros, and who married Anthony Weiner's ex, because of course.
Huma Abedin, who's been a mover and shaker, Hillary's best pal.
Yeah, and so they had their wedding in the Hamptons this weekend on No Kings weekend, which some might say is not the best, like, anti-royalty advertisement, and like we're so in touch with the working class of the party.
I wouldn't say you call this wedding the people's wedding. No,
not necessarily. But then the New York Times goes and writes this piece, which literally the headline of it is, "The Clintons and Kamala Harris descend on a Hamptons wedding of liberal royalty." The wedding of Huma Abedin, longtime aide to Hillary Clinton, and Alex Soros, the scion of a liberal philanthropic dynasty, drew a rare concentration of wealth and power.
Scion's a tough word, too. What's a tough word?
The Democratic establishment descended on the Hamptons this weekend for something of a political royal wedding that brought together the worlds of big money politics and Clinton-era insiders.
The Herald would have used, back in the day, would have used Nepo Baby by now.
The newlyweds were Alex Soros, the son of George Soros, the Democratic Party's most generous patron, and Huma Abedin, a political aide who has been described as almost a daughter to Hillary Clinton, the former First Lady and Secretary of State. Held on a Saturday at Mr. Soros' estate in Watermill, New York, the wedding drew private jets and Clinton aides galore in a rare concentration of wealth and power. Beyond the couple's families, the guest list included Mrs. Clinton and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, former Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband Doug Emhoff, Senator Chuck Schumer, and Representative Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic minority leaders from New York, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, celebrities like Nikki Hilton Rothschild, can't even say that, cultural figures like the Vogue editor Anna Wintour, longtime Clinton friends like San Francisco power broker Susie Tompkins Bell, and foreign dignitaries like the Prime Minister of Albania, Edi Rama. The starry lineup was described by 4 people who were at the wedding as well as several representatives for the attendees. Representatives for the couple did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The vocal group Boys to Men performed at the wedding.
Oh,
according to 2 of the attendees, and speakers giving toasts included Mr. Soros' brother Jonathan, Mrs. Clinton, Miss Wintour, and Mr. Rama. Dishes included truffle agnolotti, chilled English pea soup, and an American Wagyu bavette and grilled prawns. The festivities happened to coincide.
The pea soup sucks, by the way. Oh.
It's the WASP contribution to the night. The festivities happened to coincide with an exceptionally chaotic weekend at home and abroad. Protesters gathered across the country to oppose President Trump, even as he held an unusual military parade in Washington. A Minnesota lawmaker was assassinated in a new outburst of political violence, and attacks between Israel and Iran stoked fears of a wider Mideast conflagration. All was much calmer at the Hamptons, as convoys of black SUVs ferried wedding attendees down a narrow leafy lane and through a gate flanked by purple flowers. Can you imagine writing those 2 paragraphs in a row?
Well, that also means that all of these warriors for justice, all of these pillars of morality and ethics and goodness, all of these people who had a chance to be spending the time addressing all of the chaos that's been sown around the world and domestically, all decided to just get wasted at the Hamptons at a bitchin' party.
Oh,
because really that's all that matters.
In the Hamptons.
That's all that matters. Yeah, they could have been on the streets.
No.
With, they could have been on the streets, but they were not on the streets.
Mostly people were getting assassinated. Literally, Hitler was holding a military parade. The Middle East is blowing up. We're on the verge of World War III. All was much calmer in the Hamptons. Purple flowers flanked the black SUVs, calmly rolling down to the peaceful royal wedding of the political scion, Alex Soros, who recently fired Tom Shattuck, his lovely bride, who did not recently hugely embarrass the Democratic Party or anything.
Should we be up here at Gatsby's house having this caviar and the split pea soup and all total luxury? And should we, instead of maybe should we be on the streets where it's happening down in these population centers like Philadelphia, like marching with the people and going up against, speaking truth to power against Trump, who's terrible, who's a racist and is just oppressing downtrodden people? Shouldn't we do that? And like the other guy just says that, no, we brought Boys to Men in, so we're good. We're covered off. It's good enough.
Well, now they want us to be upset about, like, the Trump billionaires opening this, like, club in D.C. where, like, rich Trump supporters can... They, like, want us to be, like, worked up that they're elitists or something. Like, you guys are the worst people on the earth.
The Trump kids are doing various businesses. Yeah. This is what they do.
At least their entire, quote, business didn't fold the second Trump didn't get elected, like Mrs. Clinton's business did. And, like, her daughter working at the Clinton Foundation, like, zero job anymore. The Clinton Foundation's, like, gone. It's done.
They did a lot of good work.
All of the Biden family businesses are gone. They're done.
They did a lot of good work.
None of them exist. They're just, like, where's Hunter Biden's business ventures now? Like, it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. And I mean, I don't know. They don't seem to be showing a ton of interest in trying to win elections. And then, as if that weren't enough, this weekend also, you know what they decided to go after?
Negative.
Father's Day.
Did they?
So the New York Times...
Alice, you are up on everything today, and I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Oh. No, I had something. I mean, I gave us 7-Eleven.
Right, true. So the New York Times for Father's Day decided to post an essay by a lady just slamming her father.
Oh, of course.
Who's still alive, by the way.
Oh, we got to find that cut. Like, remember the Beatles documentary?
Right, that his dad didn't let him watch the Beatles.
Exactly.
So this is what the New York Times publishes on Father's Day. Guest essay, What My Dad Gave Me, June 15th, 2025, by Susanna Meadows, senior staff editor in Opinion. My father gave me his freckly skin, and like him, I had melanoma. He gave me asthma and protruding elbows that are identical to his own. He gave me reddish hair that's kindly reluctant to go gray. He gave me an aversion to drinking by not having one himself. He did not give me the seat next to him at a San Diego Chargers game. He had season tickets when I was a kid, but I only found out about it years later.
Wow. Way to mother bleep your dad and Father's Day.
This guy's still freaking alive. It's
great.
Not incredible. He gave me the ability to talk to anyone because I couldn't stand the awkward silences that he provided. He gave me really nice houses to grow up in, but we moved a lot for his work, and things never seemed to be going well, so he gave me financial anxiety, too. He gave me the tools to withstand a sexist world. He would say, Hillary looks ugly in her pantsuits. Oh. In her voice. He would say, women don't belong on the golf course.
How likable is this guy, by the way, already?
This was my exposure therapy. He gave it generously.
Oh, that's great. And he's still alive.
Yes.
What an a-hole.
She's writing this in the freaking New York Times. They published it because they're sick freaks. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I just made you famous. What the F? He didn't give me a response when I was little and watching a baseball game on TV with him. Why? I wanted to know, did the umpire call a strike when the batter didn't swing? He couldn't be bothered to explain.
Listen, be a boy and know about baseball and never ask stupid questions like that. Oh, my God.
Some things I took from him. I took his Fox News when I set up his cable.
Freaking fantastic. I took his Fox News. Oh, that's great. What a piece of crap this person is. Oh, that's great.
Copies of love letters he'd written to a woman who wasn't my mom that I found while I was helping him move.
That is also great. Imagine that. Like, those mean something to him in experiences that she has no idea, could not ever fathom about what his life was about. But no, she's editing his life. Oh, that is great. How old is she, I wonder?
I don't know what I say her name is. Susanna Meadows, senior staff editor in Opinion at the New York Times.
Oh, what a terrible person. I took his Oh, that's why he hated you your whole life. He saw that you sucked from the beginning. Oh, that is freaking, incredible. Incredible. Ready for Joe Queenan? Are you still reading this?
Oh, there's more of it. You guys can go find this. It's in the New York Times.
Oh, that's fantastic. I took his Fox News. Some things I took from him. With it like a clever turn of phrase, like she's like, too clever by half. Well, guess what I took from him? I took his Fox. By the way, that is, you're only in a room of psychotics who are like-minded psychotics like you if you say that and think that that's not like horribly, like just astoundingly offensive. That you do that to this guy. All he did is give you a bunch of nice houses. Sorry I didn't take you to the Chargers game, lame-o. Oh, God.
My father just said, you're not going to watch the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, full stop. I'm commandeering the television. You're not going to watch it. It's like, you're such a fucking dick. Now, my father was an abusive alcoholic, and he beat us a lot, but not letting us watch the Beatles was worse than that. You know, you can get over beatings, but not letting us watch the Beatles. So my uncle, who was a Republican, none of us were Republicans, he sort of knew this is a big thing for these guys. So I went over to his house on that Sunday, and I think my older sister went.
Happy Father's Day, Mr. Queenan. Jesus, these ingrate kids just blow. Oh, they should have been beat in the desert, too. Oh, my goodness, that is great. That is great. Oh, okay. Anything else we should... Oh, no, well, I threw us a couple of Facebook things, or is it too late for that?
Let's, we can do stuff tomorrow, too.
Okay, we'll grab these Facebook things for tomorrow.
Chat.
Okay.
See if anybody... Oh, and by the way, we are getting RSVPs for the party, July 19th or July 20th as the rain date. RSVP to burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll forward your response to Phil, whose email, by the way, he's Howard Hurts in email. So,
yes, so that's if you see that doesn't mean we've double-crossed you or spammed you. We've gotten a couple of emails saying, Howard Hurts came after...
Yeah, no, that's Phil.
We're not selling you to a database. No, that's Phil. That's our friend. He's hosting
it's his house.
The party. It's Phil's house. So. It says, Howard Hurts. And also, for Lauren, did we ever really discuss... Lauren, while catching up podcasts, I realized my Patreon RSS feed has no new Burn Barrel.
Oh, we didn't talk about that, too. Okay, so... One of the reasons we chose Acast to host our podcast on was because they had a native integration with Patreon so that we could do it on Acast and it would come through to Patreon. That has ended as of the end of May, beginning of June. They stopped doing that, which is a pain. But Tom is uploading the episodes directly to Patreon, and supposedly, although I have not experimented with this, and Tom's going to experiment with this because I don't have time to, but Tom does because Tom is unemployed.
All right. Stay on target, Alice.
Stay on target. Tom has time to experiment with this. He's going to verify. He is uploading them on Patreon and checking a box that says like add to podcast or something on there. So supposedly there's a way on the Patreon to get the RSS feed on there. That's like the patrons RSS feed. So
well, I'm uploading literally the MP3.
Yeah, but there's a box that you check that says add to podcast.
Okay.
And there's like a thing.
Let me know if it's not working for you.
Okay, if it's not working, Tom's going to investigate and find out how to fix it.
Do I have plenty of time to do that?
You do indeed have a lot of time to do that.
Here it comes.
Yeah, Trish says that's why the ad-free podcast is not on Apple Podcasts anymore. Yes, it is not. That is over. So like it.
Yeah, we don't want it to be over, but they ended.
No, I know we didn't end it. They stopped connecting the two things. So they put all the episodes back into drafts. It like doesn't exist anymore. And so supposedly they can be ad free on Patreon itself. And there's a way to get that RSS feed on Patreon itself. Tom's uploading the ad-free audio direct to Patreon. So worst case, you can go into Patreon and press play in there. There's an MP3. But theoretically, it is supposed to be the case that that RSS feed that you can listen to podcasts on there. If I go to home and then podcast, it says like Burn Barrel Podcast ad-free for patrons. 3 episodes. So it's the last like it has Shine LA, They're All Owen Now, and What'd You Do? It doesn't have yesterday's.
It doesn't? Okay.
You must not have checked the box that said add to podcast or whatever.
I'm going to check the box.
I don't know. So Tom's working on it. But there is a thing, like if you go to a Burn Barrel Podcast and you click the thing that looks like a podcast, like the little logo with the circles, and you should be able to click add to podcast app. That's what the button looks like to me.
Adding ad free, so now that check the box. I mean, They Beat Me in the Desert should be showing any second now.
Okay. So theoretically, that's how this works. If it's not working, let us know, and Tom's going to investigate it. So, good luck, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay, ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
I know that the Patreon people have a white heart. I'm a non-Patreon. I'm trying to get into Julie and Phil's party. They beat me in Attleboro. Do you know what that smells like? I went to the election party. That was all comers. Remember? There was about 70 people there with food for 300. You have plenty to spare. For humanity and love, please stand with your non-Patreon brothers and sisters. Allahu Akbar!
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that guy was fantastic. That was yesterday. We had that great guy from, where was he from? Belgium? Limerick? Where was he from?
Wales. He's supposedly Welsh.
Yeah. By the way, the only thing we love about Wales is Catatonia. Look up Catatonia. Road Rage. Great song. Never really got anywhere, unfortunately. I'm just going to try to find this so we can play a little bit of him. That was great. Here he is. Here he is.
Where is your heart? I believe that the people of the Arabic nations have a white heart. I believe you are good people. They are starving children. I tried to feed these children and they shot at me. For love, for humanity, for Islam. Stand with your Islamic peoples. Please stand with your Islamic.
I get a feeling his dad also did not take him to the Chargers game. Imagine that's a great thing. Finding out later that he had season tickets the whole time. Of course he's not going to take you because you're a pain in the ass. Oh,
Dad, what's a strike?
oh. Just leave me alone. You're inefficient, stupid, self-important. He take away his Fox News. By the way, he got his Fox News back. I assume that it doesn't trust you. He knows you're a shallow, sneaky little nothing.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
The two sound cuts of the old Moonbats that you played on the SOS show, the Shattuck.
Yeah.
The first one, you played it a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure I left a similar message about it. But
that was the one that with the, so I went to the liquor store, and I said, Kamala's going to win. And he said, no, I don't think, that lady on election day.
TikTok viral one.
Yeah, so yes. And then the other one was one I think we did play during the Patreon yesterday, saying that the gardener is going to be gone and your farmer's market's going to be closed.
To say again, the lady says she goes into a liquor store to buy a bottle of champagne, and the proprietor of the liquor store asks her why she's buying it. Okay? Again, for good or ill, I've been in a million liquor stores, and I've bought a million items, and not once has the proprietor said, "Oh, Mr. Hughes, you're buying the Exxon Valdez-sized bottle of Jack Daniels. Why?" Because the answer would be, "I'm buying it to get shit-faced, you idiot." And the second lady from Los Angeles, she's sitting there saying, "Oh, my friends are calling me and saying that my housekeeper hasn't shown up. My landscaper hasn't showed up. The farmer's market is closed." And then she accuses Trump voters of being in the 1%. And I'm like, lady, you got housekeepers, you got landscapers, and I'm in the 1%?
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that first woman, too, with the liquor store, it's like, what's the occasion? Why? It's like, well, my friend just retired from the MBTA. Nope, sorry, no, not good enough. We'll not be selling this to you. My dad died. Okay, yes, you can have it.
People in the liquor store business attempt not to ask too many questions or judge, or they don't stay in the liquor store business for very long.
Well, right,
The second
because they know.
start saying the usual at the liquor store,
Well, yeah,
you
because
leave and go
they
to
want to
another liquor
remain.
store.
They want to remain in your rotation of the 6 liquor stores that you use because you have to split up the week.
Oh, Jesus. Can you smell those people? Can you smell them? For the love of Pete. Oh, why can't you give them a bath? What's wrong with you? Oh, for the love of Pete. God, Jesus. Oh, okay. They don't have any food. Oh, and why are you smacking me around in the middle of the desert? Who put me here? How did I wind up here anyway? I should be back in Derry. Oh, for the love of God.
Is it Derry or Kerry? Is there a Derry?
Sounds plausible to me. I don't know.
Okay, it sounds plausible to me too. But once again, Cheswick, you were wrong on that. He's not actually Irish. He's maybe there's a Derry Welsh.
Welsh. Wales,
Okay.
but Welsh.
Let's see. Let's see. This is important. Derry.
Cardiff.
Wales.
Is that Welsh?
Derry. A minke whale washed ashore dead at Port Stewart Strand in County Derry in 2025.
Is that in Wales?
I don't know.
Or did you search Wales, like W-H-A-L-E-S?
Where's County Derry? It's got to be Ireland. But that minke whale is all the talk.
Minke whale.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, County Derry. Now it's mixed minke whale with Vance Boelter. Can you stop? Start anew.
Your search history is crazy. Everything I know about Wales is that in like the one season of Doctor Who that I watched because my friend was into it and we were hanging out a lot, the like doctor's companion was Welsh and she had red hair and ate fish fingers, so I remember that. And a child
Fish fingers?
It's fish sticks, but that's what they call them, like in the UK, fish fingers.
Did somebody solicit from you what you know about Wales? Oh, wait.
You asked
You're talking about the fish now, Wales? Or the country Wales? Where, by the way, County Derry is not. There is a
country Wales, and then A Child's Christmas in Wales by the poet Dylan
you take
Thomas.
Mescaline, Alice, before today's show? Okay. County Londonderry
by
is...
the poet Dylan Thomas, memorialized in the great Taylor Swift song, The Tortured Poets Department.
Right. Here we go.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I know that I'm not attractive, but thank you. As Mallory's boyfriend on Family Ties said, I'm no Charles Bronson.
What was his name? He used to say, like, whoa. Or it was like, what was his name? The boyfriend's on Family Ties. He had a big mullet, like spiked hair. He was a very likable guy. Very likable. Come on. It was like, whoa. Or Alex P. Keaton would look down on him because he was stupid, but he was like, he had a good heart. Damn it. He was a groundbreaker. Before Joey Lawrence, whoa. This was like the guy. Well, I guess that was Travolta that I was just doing there. But you know what I mean.
But I got to tell you, Uma Abedin is not attractive.
Yeah.
At all. It's pretty bad. And her new alleged husband is 39 years old, never been married. She's 49. And I think I'm with Howie. Howie thinks that this is a beard situation with this union of eagles,
I can tell you that in the photo of the two of them, in the whatever like profile that was of the Democratic movers and shakers that also had Kamala Harris's stepdaughter, and like they in their posing together did not look like they had wild physical chemistry together.
So I will say
it was a very
this.
like it was
yes.
Their sexual energy together
now that
is
I'm
very
not employed
contained.
for the man anymore, I will tell you this. There is a very David Guest thing about him. Do you remember David Guest, Alice?
No.
He was the husband of Liza Minnelli. Google David Guest right now, and David Guest, Liza Minnelli, and I mean they were husband and wife. They had a very romantic, hot, sexual relationship. Obviously, it's I think clear to everybody that there was a lot of chemistry there. I get no signals whatsoever that David Guest was not at all unattracted or not attracted to Liza Minnelli or any of her. Is nothing hitting you yet?
I'm looking at the pictures.
Okay.
I must not have your gaydar.
I guess you don't. I guess that's what's going on here.
I mean, maybe you have to see him in video to get it. I don't know.
You don't get it? Do you see Liza Minnelli down on the right? And do you see the gentleman with her?
I mean, yeah, probably he's gay. I don't know.
Do you think...
I
Do you assume Tim Walz is extremely masculine?
No.
Oh, man. All the math in the world she knows, all the trigonometry, the daughter gets A pluses
Sorry,
and that
I
stuff.
don't know the gays like you know the gays. I apologize.
Know the
It's
gays,
not my
Alice.
thing.
Know the gays. It's important.
They don't really like me.
That is true, because you want them dead. I think that's one of the reasons.
I don't want them dead.
Oh, please.
Gay people just don't like me.
You called, I believe, for the death of Derek Mulvaney a few years ago.
I just said.
Okay, it's not a denial.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I don't hate gay people at all.
No.
Anyway, I appreciate you all being here. Appreciate everybody on the Patreon. Having a great time together. If you want to join us for the Patreon and the chat and stuff like that, that's patreon.com/burn.
By the way, Steve, I think that with Huma, I think that she could be, in a sense, like Taylor Swift, where she's really good at being feminine and sensual. Some girls who don't have looks are like, still have that, you know? So that could be the thing that kept a gay man interested. It's helpful when they stop the music, Alice.
C'est la vie.
My father just said, you're not going to watch the Beatles. Oh, that's all. And full stop. I'm commandeering the television. You're not going to watch it. It's like, you're such a fucking dick. Now, my father was an abusive alcoholic, and he